All right. I know if you clicked on this video, you don't care about any of the fluff. You just want to see how you can start making a ton of money, close these high ticket deals in the AI agency space. And look, by the end of this video, you're going to know the exact sales process to do that. The same process we use, all our partners use. So no more time wasted. Let's get right into it here. And I'm going to show you everything, the exact process we use to close these deals and the exact process we use to set up our partners to close these deals as well. And you can see, for example, Kylie, she closed a 6K deal, PIF, paid in full, like less than 30 days after starting from almost completely scratch. And then again, just a couple days ago, she closed another 10K deal, which is awesome to see. We got Todd, who closed his first deal within 3 weeks of starting from like completely zero on this. And then we also got Prithvi, who's doing the same system, 6K deal, 3K upfront, 3K in 10 days. Just to show you that there's people outside of just us. These are our clients. These are our partners who are doing the same thing with the systems we show. So let's get into it. And I'm going to show you exactly how we go about this, right? So starting from scratch, the first thing you're going to do is you need to be generating leads. You need to be marketing. There's a lot of ways you can go about this, right? Organic, cold outreach, paid ads. We primarily focus on the paid acquisition side of things through Meta, but I'll also touch on kind of the cold outreach side of things in case there's people here who are like, hey man, I just don't have money to invest in ads right now. I'm at the point where I need to be doing cold outreach because I just don't have the funds. And that's completely fine. Everybody starts out there. When I first started, I was doing a ton of cold outreach myself. Everybody does cold outreach at the start. It's an inevitable phase you got to go through. So I'll kind of touch on how to do that optimally as well. And we also have a lot of videos inside of our free school, Inside AI Academy, that shows how to do cold outreach as well. And so first thing, in terms of the paid ad side of things, right? There's a lot of ways. I'm not going to go too deep in terms of how to exactly set up the campaign itself. I have other videos going over that if you want to check that out. I'll put that up right there, or maybe right here. I don't know which side it comes on, but a video literally showing exactly how we set up our ad campaigns. But just to cover here, we do set up the ad campaigns. You want to do a couple different ad sets with different targetings and a couple different creatives. The main thing to focus on when you're selling the voice AI to clients, right? You're selling, maybe it's a whole AI infrastructure, not just the voice AI, is you want to have an ad showcasing that. We've tested a ridiculous amount of creatives, and you can do all these talking head type of ads. You can do all these kind of ones that look nice, just in terms of like production, but it doesn't really matter. By far, the ones we've seen do the best are, even if they're lower quality, ones that are actually showcasing the product, because there's a lot of AI platforms, there's a lot of people selling voice AI out there today that have very low quality voice AI. So you're selling a good voice AI. If you're selling ours, you have a good quality one. If you're selling other good ones out there, you want to showcase it so that people can see right off the bat, hey, this sounds great. I could use this. So videos of even just demos. You don't even need to show your face, just demos. Other ones of maybe you speaking to the AI. Those types of ads do very, very well. Those are the ones we help our partners set up and run because they just perform very good. You still want to test a couple different variations, little things like that, but they still do very, very good. Copy and headlines, you want to test those out as well. But if you check the video that I showed up in the top corner there of me walking through the whole campaign, you'll see exactly how to do that. And so the paid ads is how we're generating the leads. And so I'll take you through everything after this from the point you generate the lead, because you need to qualify them, you need to get everything going. And so typically you might be doing a lead form, right? Lead form is very, very common, right? And so depends. We have a school community. I'm going to kind of touch on that. If you have a community, a Facebook group, a Discord, anything like that works very, very well for nurturing. But a lot of you guys, if you're starting out, you're not going to have that, right? Which is fine. Like we didn't have that at the start either. And so I'll kind of touch on the lead form side of things as well. So firstly, in terms of cold outreach, if you're starting out, you're going to want to do cold outreach. People always ask, what type of cold outreach is the best? Should I do emails, DMs, cold calls, Facebook groups, all this sort of stuff? And so the short answer is they all work. It depends where your niche spends most of their time, right? If we're going after home service companies, like electricians, plumbers, home renovation, DMing works great. Cold calls work great. Cold email, not as much, because that's just where they spend their time. Same with like med spas, right? A lot of med spas, they answer their DMs because it's usually the owner who's managing the social media for the most part, unless they're a massive one. And then if you're talking to lawyers, for example, right? Email is going to work great. You're not really going to be able to get to cold call them. DMs aren't going to work great. Cold email is going to work, right? So it just depends where your niche that you're targeting spends most of their time. And so for me personally, I did purely cold DMs. I bought 10 Facebook accounts and I was doing cold outreach through those all day, rotating, sending as many DMs until I hit the limit on each account, going to the next account, reaching the limit, going to the next account. I would do that for 5-6 hours every single day until I was booking appointments and getting clients. And so we do have videos showing you exactly how to do it. And look, if you want to be shown videos on every single aspect, how to set all that up, I'm going to drop a link below. You can join our community. You'll also, get access to our platform. We'll do fulfillment for you, all that sort of stuff. I won't go too much in detail on that, but I'll drop the link for that below if you're interested, right in the description. But yeah, so the cold outreach, bunch of different Facebook accounts. You need to buy proxies so that each account has a different IP and you don't get them banned, because if they're all under the same IP, they will get shut down by Facebook. And you just rotate through those, sending 10, 12 DMs before you hit the limit. And you could do, if you have 10, you're hitting 100 to 120 DMs in a batch. You might have to wait an hour or two for them to cool down. Then you send another 100. You can be sending hundreds every day. And so all I would do is I would have a list of all the cities in the US and all the states. And I would look up, let's say, med spas in this city and then this city. I would go through every single med spa in every single city in every single state across the United States. I DM'd every single med spa that was on Facebook across the entire country of the United States 3-4 times. And that's how I got all my clients. And look, it's not fun. It's not leveraged at all. It's not scalable. But when you don't have money, you don't have the options, right? So that's just what you have to do. As soon as you have the money for ads, that's when you want to get into the ads side of things. And so look, we're sending leads to a school community. A lot of you guys that are watching this are probably in the school community. We have a little over 8.4K people in there at the time of recording this video. And then we're providing them a ridiculous amount of free value in here. I'll walk through our process in case you do a school community, you want to set up a school community or a Facebook group, anything like that. But I'm also going to show you kind of what we set our partners up with who are starting out, who don't have a school community, right? Because there's still systems that work. All of these partners and clients that I showed you up here, they don't have a school community. So I'll walk through the process that we set them up with and what that looks like. So firstly, for them, it's a lead form. You click an ad on Facebook, you're collecting the name, email, phone number. Pretty much what it looks like is similar to how we have it in school here. You're collecting that same information just on the lead form. And you're going to probably ask one sort of qualifying question there. That's probably going to be something along the lines of, are you a business owner? Are you a med spa? Just to have a kind of broad qualifier. So you're getting rid of all the people that aren't at least in your main niche or meeting that main qualification you want to have to send people to the funnel. And so what that looks like with a lead form is it's probably a direct to booking funnel, right? So instead of going through this whole school community, you're probably sending them straight to the VSL page. And so I'm going to show you what the school community process looks like here, because it is very, very effective. And then we'll continue from the VSL page here, because if you don't have a school community, you'd most likely be sending them directly to your VSL page of your funnel. And then the process will be the same from there. But I'll show you what the process looks like if you do have a school community or any sort of free value-based kind of community, Facebook group, Discord, whatever it is, right? Maybe a WAP community, all that sort of stuff. So people go to our school community, they're getting sent there. But there is a large percent of people that get sent to our school community and don't join, right? They just click the link, they view it, and then they don't join. And so with that, we want to be retargeting people to send them back into the school community. We also retarget all of our school members with a low ticket offer as well, a $17 low ticket offer that has upsells and sends them. If you guys are interested in the low ticket side of things, drop a comment below. I can make an entire separate video breaking down our low ticket offer because it's massive. We're spending about $800 a day on ads across everything. And our low ticket offer has us at least breaking even on all ad spend, even profiting sometimes. So we're breaking even on all ad spend. We're not losing any money on ads, and we're still getting leads, appointments, and ascensions. So I can make a separate video on low ticket offers if you'd like, but in this video, we won't go too deep into that. But we are retargeting our school community with low ticket offers. And so retargeting ads are very, very effective. If you already have some sort of email list, or you have organic content, people are engaging with your Instagram page, your Facebook page, they're watching your YouTube videos, engaging with your website, we can retarget all those people with ads, so that they engage, they showed some little bit of interest. Now we can push ads in front of them for those specific people. We can set up custom audiences, all that sort of stuff, right? Lookalike audiences, and really push those retargeting ads to those sorts of people, because it's more likely that people that engage with you are more likely to convert than people who don't know anything about you, right? That's the beauty of retargeting ads. And so if you'd like, I can make a separate video on that as well, really breaking down how we set up our retargeting campaigns. But in this video, I just want to cover the overall sales process kind of from a bird's eye view, so you can see exactly what it looks like. And you, by the end of this video, will still be able to implement all this yourself. And so they're watching the welcome video here, and then they're joining. And so when they click to join the school community, they're filling out a questionnaire, which is, name, email, phone number. Very similar to the lead form that they see on the Facebook ads, right? But since we have the school community, we don't have them fill out a lead form. We just send them here and we collect their information. And then they're getting added to Go High Level. They're getting a welcome message, and they're inside of the classroom. So first, you'll touch on the classroom, right? They're getting a ridiculous amount of value in here. This is about 50 modules showing absolutely everything. how to launch your offer, construct your offer, VSL structure, leveraging your network, cold outreach. There's way more modules down below here as well that you can't see in the screenshot about creating your funnel, creating the ads, sales and closing, all that sort of stuff is all inside of there. And so that's why this is so beautiful, because we're giving a ton of value and then ideally ascending people to our high ticket offer for people who, hey, I got a ton of value here. I want to work with you guys to help me set all this up so I can really scale to that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month mark. But they're also getting dropped into Go High Level because you need to have them in your CRM, right? It's a waste if you have people joining your community and you're not collecting them as leads, right? And so we have, I don't even know, tens of thousands of leads built up in our CRM, and they're getting SMSs, they're getting emails welcoming them to the school community, right? And so sending all those emails and whatnot is like, hey, welcome to the community. If you didn't get a chance, book your onboarding call, all that sort of stuff, right? And so we have a free onboarding call with people that they book, that we try to get them booked as soon as they join the community. And that way our setter is hopping on with them, qualifying them. And if they're qualified, they want to work with us, we book them in for a sales call. And if not, we just speak to them about the best way to help them get results. And so it's a very valuable thing to add into the process if you do have a community. And so the other thing is they're getting a welcome message right off the bat, right? School has that feature. You can send an auto DM to people right away. And this is coming from Nick's account, who's of course the co-founder. And then we have our setter in there who continues to message all the leads and try to see how we can help them. And ultimately, if they want, book them in for a sales call with us to try to send them to our high ticket offer, right? And so the other thing is they're getting triaged, right? And so a triage is calling the lead. And this is the pipeline here. They get added and you're triaging them to try to book them in as well. So they're getting hit from a lot of different angles here, right? And so this is how you can really increase your lead to booking rate, is having all these different sources, all these different, channels that you're hitting them from, so that they're going to see you, you're going to be top of mind, and they're eventually going to want to book, right? And look, people might not book right away, but maybe in a few months, a few months down the line, right, they realize, hey, I've been, having trouble here. These guys seem to know what they're doing. I should pay them and, use their system, right? And so that's what's the beauty of all this. You keep people inside of your community, all this sort of stuff, and you have them there for long-term nurturing. And so this is very effective in all realms, right? If you're selling just the voice AI, you're selling entire AI infrastructures, you're teaching people how to sell AI infrastructure. So all this sort of stuff applies. The process is the same no matter what. You just change kind of the verbiage and certain things inside of here to, relate and be consistent with what you're offering, right? Correlate with everything that you're pitching, you're offering, you're pushing. And so then they get sent to the VSL page. From all of these here, if they are trying to book, they get sent to the VSL page. And so if you didn't have a school community, it would have just been lead form, which is from the ads, lead form, directly to VSL page, right? And those are called direct to booking ads. And these, very, very common. You do want to be running these as well. And you can run these with retargeting ads for people who didn't book right off the bat. They're in your email list. You can send retargeting ads to those specific people to ultimately book them in again. And so on the VSL page, you're of course having your VSL, some testimonials, and demos of the AI. Those are the most important things that you need. And so we have the exact funnel structure. Again, if you want to see exactly how to set all this up, like quite literally step by step, get templates, all this sort of stuff, and have weekly calls with us to help you, give you advice, you can click the link down below and you can join that there if you'd like. But yeah, let's keep going. So you got the VSL, the testimonials, and the demos, right? The VSL is super, super important how to structure this, because the core components of a VSL is you want to handle the main objections, answer the main question, so the call doesn't turn into a Q&A. The last thing you want is somebody to hop on a call, not have any objections handled beforehand, so they have a ton in the call. They don't even know what you do, so they have a ton of questions. You don't want it to turn into a Q&A call. That's the worst. And you ultimately want the VSL to make them want to buy more after they watch it, right? So people are going to have objections. So you want to handle the main 3 to 5 objections in that VSL. With the AI side of things, the objections we handle are, one of the main objections is, hey, I can do this in the future. I don't need this right now. We really force how the businesses who are using it now are getting a massive edge versus the businesses who don't. And if you don't use it now to take advantage of it and beat your competitors, you're going to be forced to implement it in the future just to keep up with them. That's how we kind of frame that in the VSL. The other thing is the cost, right? People are like, oh, it's too expensive. So we really break out the numbers of how much they'd be paying to have humans do this versus the AI. Really shows them that the value is there in the AI and they can increase their output while saving costs, time, and everything. There's other variables as well in there where they don't have to manage the AI, all this sort of stuff, right? You want to have all of that in the VSL so that when the prospect is watching this, by the time they get to the end, their questions are answered, their objections are handled, and they ideally are already like 30 to 70% sold on what you're offering before they even get on the sales call with you. And then you're also going to have testimonials, which again sell people more, right? If they can see that there's people just like them that you've already gotten the desired result for, that's huge, right? Testimonials are always massive. You know, if you bought anything, testimonials are massive. Same with Google reviews, all this sort of stuff, Trustpilot, all huge. And then demos of the AI, right? Again, you want to showcase the product. You can show different scenarios, different demos on your funnel. I highly, highly recommend that. You don't need a ton, 1 to 5 or 1 to 3 is great. Just demos showing different scenarios of the AI. They can see what it actually sounds like. All right. And then VSL page, there will be buttons on the VSL page, right, to click to book a call, right? They'll be, hey, book your growth consult, book your demo, whatever you want to call it. They're going to click that and then gets into a qualification page, right? Because at this point, there's only been one qualifier beforehand if you're just doing direct to booking ads. And that one qualifier is the lead form. Wasn't very strong because we don't want to have a huge barrier to entry right off the bat, and people could eventually be qualified in the future. So we still want to gather their information, but you probably want to filter out a lot of people here. And so with this here, you want to have qualifiers. To give you an example, do you specifically own an agency, consultancy, or high ticket online business? Or if you're selling to solar, do you specifically own a solar company? Now you're really narrowing down. Or if it's a revenue kind of thing, you want to only have one, maybe 2 questions here. The best is just having one question to where it can be, hey, are you a solar company doing over 50K a month? Are you an insurance company doing over 30K a month? Are you X business doing this many calls a month? Whatever your kind of further qualifier is, because right now you have the lead form, right? And so now you had people get cut off at there and they're going down the funnel. Now you want to filter out even more people. So by the time that people get on the call, it's a very niche group of people that are meeting your exact ICP or ideal client profile, and the people that are most likely to close. And so then the people who make it through that qualifier are qualified. They're getting sent to the calendar page to book. And if they aren't qualified, you can send them to an unqualified page or disqualification page. This can be anything along the lines of just telling them that they're unfortunately not qualified to work with you right now. You have a ton of free resources, whatever it is. Or you can send them to like your low ticket offer or your free school community if you have that. Anything to still give them a bit of value, but just let them know, hey, unfortunately, like respectfully, it's not worth the time for you to hop on a call with us right now. You want to say that in a respectful way, of course, something along these lines here. But if they are qualified, they'll get sent to the calendar page where they will book a call, like any other booking. But you want to have some qualifiers on here, right? Some pretty important things. You don't want to have, questions that will really put them off, but you still want to gather good information, right? What are they looking to do specifically? Explain about their business, what they're doing right now, what's their biggest bottleneck, what their revenue is, or how much they're willing to invest. Make sure that they're really willing to show up. And we always ask, have you watched the pre-call video, which is the VSL? Because we know how important the VSL is. And if somebody watched it all the way through, we know they are levels more qualified than somebody who didn't watch it, right? So that's the importance of that there. You want them to fill out these calendar questions, and then they will book their call, right? And so now they're getting sent to a thank you page afterwards, which is, congrats, you booked your call. Please complete these 3 steps here. Watch this 79-second video, which is just a thank you video saying, hey, like you made the right decision, book your call. We look forward to speaking with you, and please complete these 2 things below. One of them is confirming their invitation. We need them to confirm their invite. That massively, even just clicking yes, which you get that little check mark right on Google Calendar, that massively increases show up rate. Little micro commitments like that. And then we also have them watch the VSL again down here just to make sure they watch it. So we put it there as well. And so then there's the triage confirmation, right? And so now all these things now are focusing on the show up rate. We focused on getting the lead, which is the ads. We focused on nurturing the lead, which is the process beforehand, the triage, the school community, all that sort of stuff. We focused on booking them and qualifying them, which is the funnel, the VSL, all this sort of stuff, these qualifiers. And now we need to focus on getting them to show up, right? There's a lot of different things we got to, make sure happens, right? Because all of this is useless if your show up rate sucks. If you're only getting like 30 to 50% show up rate, that's a lot of your effort that's going down the drain, right? So now you need to make sure that they're showing up. And so now after they book, we have an even further qualifier. And this also massively increases the show up rate. We have a triager, whether it's human or AI. For this, I do recommend a human. Calls the person who booked and confirms their questions. We have a script that they can go through to just confirm, get to know them as well, really makes you look more professional as well. This will be anywhere from like a 5 to 15 minute conversation usually, where the triager will be speaking to this person who booked, just confirming that their questions that they answered are accurate and they're not lying about their being able to invest, they're looking to move forward, and further qualifying them. And then after the triager has done this call, if they're unqualified, he'll just cancel the call. But if they are qualified, he will also submit a form with their information and a rating 1 to 4. 1 being, he's canceling them themselves. 2 being they're, they're interested, but they're not the most qualified. 3 being they're qualified, they meet all the qualifications, but they're still a bit on the edge, and 4 being, hey, yeah, this guy's like pretty much ready to pay. And so that gets submitted with more information about their situation, what they're looking to do, submits that form, that gets sent to the closer, who now has that information going into the call. So they have that form information, the calendar booking information, and that gives them a lot of insight of how to kind of navigate the call and all that sort of good stuff. And then they're also getting, emails and texts and all that sort of stuff beforehand, reminding them about their booking, making sure they're going to show up. So this is why, guys, our show up rate is anywhere between 87 and 92% month over month. And it's been that case since we first started. Since January of last year, our show up rate has not wavered below that. I think our lowest month ever was like 85%. It's usually 87 to 92% show up rate. And that's where you want to be, because that way your efforts are not in vain and you're getting a good amount of people who book actually showing up and you have the chance to close them, right? And so they're getting those reminder emails. And then they're also getting a reminder call from the triager reminding them, hey, your call is in, 90, 60, 30 minutes, whatever time it is when he calls them, making sure they're showing up again, because all this stuff is what makes sure that you have a high show up rate. And let's say the prospect cancels, they get put in the cancellation sequence, saying, hey, is I canceled? Do you want to book back in? Basic sequence, trying to get them to book back in. And then if the prospect no shows, they get put into the no-show sequence, which again is trying to get them to book back in after. But if people no-show, hey, there's a chance there actually was a real emergency, right? Like that happens. But a lot of the times if people no-show, they're usually not the best prospect and not really taking it too seriously. And reschedules, that's the other option. They get put in the reschedule sequence, which is a bit of a tamer booking sequence, very similar, but less bookings because we don't want to hammer them with all the same bookings again. But we only really allow one reschedule. More than one reschedule, where it's very clear that the prospect is not taking it too serious, and we just kind of cancel them and let them know, hey, let's do this in the future when you're ready to take this more seriously. And then the prospect shows, you take the sales call, and you close the deal. And so look, I'm not going to go too in depth on kind of the whole sales process. If you want though, like again, there's a lot of stuff here that I can make individual videos on showing you the entire process, right? And so I can make a video showing you exactly how we navigate the sales call, the exact script we use, how to do discovery, pitch, all that sort of stuff. You'll also get all that inside the community if you want to join. I'll drop the link down below in the description. But yeah, this is the entire process. And so as you can see, there's quite a lot to it. It might look like a lot, but once you have this set up, it's set up, right? You don't really need to do too much afterwards. You want to refine it here and there. But as you can see, this is the exact process we use. And from a bird's eye view, it does look quite long, but this is the exact process we use to set everything up. So if you just implement everything I showed in here, if you have questions about any of it, drop a comment below, ask about it. I will respond personally and let you know exactly what you would do with whatever your question is to, give you clarity on things. But this is the exact process that we follow. And this is the process we set all our partners up with to be able to close deals like this. All right. So look, guys, don't waste time. Like I did, I went through this quickly for you to give as much information jam-packed in as short a time as possible. So yeah, don't waste time, set all this up and get going and start closing those deals.